And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray and rock god Rick Maxa.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, hour number 2. Man, it sure goes quick. And if you're wondering where Pete and Rick are, they're out of the studio this morning on assignment. And just myself, Corey Sandin, with Mike Pritchard from the Tribute, and totally stoked to have you in studio, Mike. And the lines have absolutely been packed up the whole show, and I think we ought to jump into it. Let's talk to, we've had a lot of patient callers, Mike. Let's talk to Don. Don's calling from Woodland Hills, and appreciate your patience this morning, John. Or Don.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Good morning.
Hey, Mike, you're right on when you talk about heavy gear. I was out on the Pacific Queen earlier this week on those big bluefin tuna, and the crew kept on saying 60-pound minimum, really should be doing 80. If you got 100, throw it over. And guys didn't listen, and they were lucky. They got hooked up, and they were gone. You know, and the fish we ran into were from 60 pounds to 237. So if you're not fishing the heavy gear, you're really not doing yourself or anybody else good doing that by throwing it over the line with a nice hot sardine.
Yeah, with that big fish, you're not going to land them on light gear. And a lot of anglers will start getting frustrated. They're not getting bit. They're watching other guys get bit. And it's not worth it. You're not going to land the fish. There's been some very crazy exceptions, but for the most part, you're going to end up losing a fish that's going to, have a chance of losing the rest of the school with it. You're going to pull on a fish for 2 hours. You're going to either pull the hook, have it chew you off. It's really not worthwhile. It's the same thing that you're going to find on long-range trips. You have guys that get frustrated. They start dropping down in line size, and all of a sudden you have somebody come running up the side of the boat, hooked up on 40-pound, sawing fish off that are on 80 or 100-pound that are on proper tackle. And you got a guy that hooks one on light line and saws a bunch of fish off that you actually had a potential of landing. Yeah, like Don said, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing the other passengers a disservice, really. The look on most crew members, most captains' face when you see somebody get bit and you turn and you see what they hooked it on is just, it's disgusting. You're like, disheartening. Yeah, you know that, out of the frustration you're trying to drop down in line size, but you know the outcome of it already. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Let's jump back into it. They are absolutely packed. We're going to talk to Jason. Jason's calling from Marina Del Rey. Good morning. Welcome. Let's talk to the Hookup, Jason.
Hey, guys. Just standing here at the dock at Seaforth watching all those cows get unloaded off the Tribute.
Very nice.
I was on the Aztec, but the Tribute is a beautiful boat. I've been on it about 5 times. Kudos to the crew for killing all those cows. But I'll tell you what, Greg sure worked his you-know-what off trying to find them babies. We did get a nice mixed grade.
Did you guys get some?
We didn't find the cows.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you had a good trip.
Yeah, we had a beautiful trip. The food, everything, all you guys down here are real class act, But Greg, he worked his butt off for the last 2 3/4 days, so. Just kudos to the Tribute and also the Aztec. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, Jason, that's, a lot of very well put. And so many good captains down there. And like we were talking about earlier, I'm sure you're enjoying the free parking too, huh? Convenient and easy to get to your vehicle, huh?
Oh, I love Seaforth.
Yeah, definitely, Jason. Well, we appreciate the call this morning and gotta like that. There's a lot of good crew, and it's just being at the right. There's luck involved, but there's skill and just to be in the right zone. And Greg's in the right zone for crying out loud.
There's a lot of work that goes to it. When I talked to Shane yesterday morning, like I said, Shane has done a phenomenal job. He's a very, very good captain. He's been with me. It's funny, he's only 21. He's worked for me for the last 5 years. Started running the boat here this last year. And when I talked to him yesterday morning, it's funny when I called, the tone in his voice, he doesn't even have to say anything. Hello. I said, how's it going? He goes, it sucks. I haven't caught anything yet. I said, well, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and you see how the outcome came out. Or, I mean, he should actually be in here. I've been trying to get him in on the show. He's not game for it just yet.
Oh, he will.
So someday he's going to have to put the big boy pants on and come in here and sit down and drink coffee.
Yeah, he'll enjoy it, right? Enjoy it with the boys and have a good time. It sounds like a really good guy. It's got to be kind of cool to have Shane on the boat coming up underneath your wings and now he's running the boat. I mean, you got to be pretty stoked for him.
Doing a phenomenal job. It's funny. One of our other crew members, Monkey, the other day, he goes, "You realize he's just like you and you're not on the boat." I said, "Well, that makes sense, and hopefully that's a good thing."
Absolutely, that's funny. Let's jump back into it. We're going to talk to Gary. Gary's calling from Palmer Lake, Colorado. Are you listening to us on the app there, Gary?
I am. Good morning, Corey and Mike.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm an avid long ranger. My family and I, we take a 7-day trip every spring and go long range. It's a family affair. There's about 10 of us in our family that do this. I had some questions for Mike concerning your the tribute and the accommodations as far as showers, heads, and bunk layout. And also, I'm wondering if I were to go out on and look for to catch a big bluefin, am I going to be undergunned with an HX Raptor with a 100-pound Spectre on it?
That same kind of thing. Not a bad small reel, a bad small setup. You can land them on it, and it's not. I mean, really, it's not a bad setup. It's funny to consider that light gear on a local trip, on a trip under anything under 8 days. That is sufficient for your starting tackle. If you really want to either get a heavier setup from the landing, or it's hard. Let's
hold it right there, because when you say get a bigger, heavier setup from the landing, they have the most awesome rental gear.
Yes, we do, and it's funny because when this first started happening a few years ago, guys were showing up and they needed heavier gear, and for the most part, we don't have long-range boats out of our landing. I mean, we do we do longer trips. The Apollo does longer trips. But this is something that the tackle shop, the landing, has had to step their game up as well and get heavier two-speed setups for you guys. But as far as your Raptor setup with a 100-pound, you can, but it would be nice to have heavier gear. If you find yourself in a situation where we're hooking these big things in the dark, you want to be able to step up and fish 130-pound or 150-pound.
Okay, and how about accommodations on your boat as far as bunk layout and length of the boat and that kind of thing?
The boat's 80 by 24. It was originally designed to sleep 56 people. This is something that I would never want to see 56 people on an overnight trip on my boat ever. Our trips are limited to our standard open party one-day trips, 36. What we're doing right now is limited to 32. Our main bunk room has 36 bunks in it, all individual, air-conditioned. All have curtains, privacy curtains. You're not going to be laying next to somebody. You're not going to have somebody else's feet in your face. And like I said, they have privacy curtains. We also have 2 staterooms that have 3 bunks apiece in it. We usually reserve those for either individuals that have knee problems, back problems, can't get up and down the stairs very well, or family groups. Somebody that wants to come out and bring their daughter out for the first time, and she's not down there with a bunch of sneaky fishermen.
Yeah, how
no
cool
offense.
Though. But to be able to bring your wife and child out and just show them what you want to do, what you like to do, and share it.
Happens all the time. Like I said, Captain Justin Fleck from the Excel came out on this last trip with his son. I can't tell you. I'm assuming he's somewhere around 12 now. I could be wrong, but to be able to get out and have a room where it's going to be you, your son, your daughter, or your wife, and make them feel comfortable, that we do have a couple of staterooms for that.
No, that's pretty cool. And, for Gary to come down and he's got his light little outfit that'll definitely work. Those guys that catch him on it. But to be able to rent a heavier piece of equipment on the side and have it top notch, and coming down out of any of our landings down here out of San Diego to, like you said, we don't have long-range boats out of Seaforth, but they have the right gear to accommodate this 200 to 300 pound tuna.
Yes, we do.
And you can find that out of Fisherman's and Point Loma and probably the other one too. But
it's one of those things. If you're flying in from out of town and you don't want to bring your gear, any one of these landings can accommodate you, so you're not dragging stuff on and off the plane. But just make sure you call them in advance and try to get it lined up for whatever kind of trip you're doing, and make sure that you're geared up appropriately. We have had some people on these big fish trips in the past. They don't have heavier gear, or they don't want to rent it, and you're looking at somebody that we used to consider 40-pound or 50-pound on an overnight trip heavy gear, and it's not the case anymore. So it's hard to try to push somebody to do it, but if you want to land one of these big fish, you need to be geared up properly.
Let's jump back into it. They are absolutely packed up. They have been the whole show, Mike, and they want to get on a stay-and-a-half trip, and possibly they could even use it going out on tomorrow night's trip.
That is a possibility.
Let's do it. Let's talk to Gary. Gary's calling from Lawndale. Appreciate you joining the show this morning, Gary.
Why, thank you, Corey and Mike. Corey, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Boy, my first question was answered already. So I want to ask, are you seeing any other species out there like Opa, oilfish, or any giant squid?
You know what? Giant squid right now would be awesome. We haven't seen any, and if we could find a way to make a bunch of giant squid and then go out and fish these bluefin, it'd be pretty key. I haven't seen that in years, actually a long time, 12, 13 years. Opa, we caught one this year on our Friends of Rollo trip. I think I can't remember exactly how big it was, but we did pick up one Opa this year. I haven't seen oilfish or escalar in quite a while for whatever reason. I don't even know how much science has been put behind it. There's been years where, dropping a jig down at night, you had a pretty good chance. I remember a couple of years where we were on the Excel where we had oilfish up into the 90-pound range, giant escalar, big, 80, 90-pounders.
Isn't that crazy? And for people that don't know, I mean, those are like deep water.
Well, the first time you see them, the first oilfish I ever caught, I was fishing for swordfish. Bill Kavanaugh was running the Excel, and I was up at night, and we're sitting there. I was on deck watch, and figure you're going to drop down, and that's one thing a lot of long-range crews do when you're just drifting at night. You have high hopes for the swordfish. I got about a 20-pound oilfish. I wound it up, and I bounced it and looked at it on deck, and I didn't want to touch it. It was scary looking.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But they're good eating. I mean, you can't eat in large quantity, but they're a different type of. They're basically what they're called, an oilfish.
I've never eaten one. We used to think they were bad, so we used to give them to Mario at Sportsman Seafood, and we didn't know what he did with them. Finally, one day, we asked him, we said, what do you do with these things? And he goes, I get $3 more a pound for these than I do swordfish, and since then I've never caught one.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, because
that was 15 years ago.
They're really good eating.
One.
Yeah, they are absolutely.
But no, we haven't seen any oddball escalar or oilfish lately.
Yeah, crazy. And they almost seem to come with a little bit colder water. I hate to mention it, but with the albacore kind of.
Well, hopefully we see those again.
Longfin, yeah, right. What do you think?
No more wahoo washing up on the beach in Newport or wherever. And
right.
It's going to happen again.
Yeah.
I do know. I do have a lot of friends that commercial albacore fish, and it sounds like the number of smaller grade fish that they saw this year up north was they actually considered them a nuisance. So that has to bode well as far as potential for us.
Interesting. So you think maybe this next year? I mean, I hate to ask for a prediction, but
I am no longer going to predict albacore.
Yeah. You do it like Pete. You can predict it every year until it happens.
Well, it was supposed to be this year, and here we are with.
Wahoo on the beach.
Yeah, wahoo at Cedros and half-day skipjack fishing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hey, we've got the fishdope.com report by Captain Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide. How's it going this morning, Dave?
Hey, good morning, Corey and Mike. How you guys doing today?
Good morning.
Hey, first of all, let's say happy birthday to Mark Wish. Today's Mark's birthday, so first of all, let's get that out of the way. Good morning, Mark, and happy birthday.
Yeah.
Hey, we're down here at Cabo San Lucas. It's about 95 degrees here on the back deck of the boat. We're just hanging out here. We had some phenomenal marlin fishing yesterday up on the Finger. It's like epic fishing, big giant spots of marlin all over the place. But we're supposed to talk about SoCal, so let's talk about SoCal. You got that bluefin bite still going on. I heard Mike talking about it earlier. It's insane, and this is the time of year you guys have all been waiting for. If you want to get on a boat and go catch some bluefin and not be standing shoulder to shoulder, this is the time of year. I heard Mike talking a little bit. He's going to keep running these trips as long as the people keep coming, so there's no reason to not keep coming. The fish are biting. You got that yellowfin biting down the line still good scores for the guys that are fishing down the line there. And then like Brian Woolley was saying, skipjack in front of Dana Point Harbor, 2 miles off the beach. Catalina, San Clemente Island, if you can get over there and you can find some of that squid, there's still some yellowtail to catch. There's been some white sea bass caught on the backside of Catalina this week when they had the squid. I guess the squid kind of dried up last night. I'm talking to Donnie Brockman. There's no squid over there last night, but that doesn't mean it's gone. It's just an off night. Everybody calm down, take a deep breath, and go fishing.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it, Dave, for sure.
Yeah, the fishing's phenomenal. You guys just got to get out there. Take a look at my website at yoursaltwaterguide.com. We're doing a new thing on there called Game Plans, and I'm giving you guys a heads up on what I believe you should be doing. If you go fishing on the weekend, every weekend I update it with a new game plan, telling you where you should be, what you should be doing. I work in close conjunction with Jason and Ollie and Danny over there at Fish Dope. So with all the information we have today, there's really no reason that you're not catching. You got to go fishing, though, and get on Mike's boat. He's going to run a trip tomorrow night. It's going to be a good trip. Go bluefin fishing. That weather looks spectacular out there on the Tanner and the Cortez. It's not a time to put your rods and reels away. It's a time to go fishing.
Yeah, you're hitting it on the head. I mean, the fact he's got a trip tomorrow night, Dave, and probably going to run light, but I mean, how can you beat being on the boat with a light load and catching
cow bluefin?
Yeah, I mean, coming in this morning with a handful over 200 pounds, it doesn't get any better, Dave.
Right. Well, this is the problem we've had the last 3 years. We never ran out of fish. We just ran out of people. So don't make it that way this year, guys. Keep going fishing. There's no reason to not go fishing. Keep going fishing.
So give us your site again, and how do they get a hold of you if they need a captain, Dave?
Well, guys, I got a couple of different things going on. I got Your Saltwater Guide, which is an informational-based website. It's all instructional, 5-minute videos. We got about 60 videos on there. We update it every week with new videos, 2 or 3 a week. We have game plans on there. It's yoursaltwaterguide.com. We're not giving away anybody else's stuff. I'm simply teaching you the way that I've been doing it for the last 42 years. So you can go there and look at that. Also, I got captains for hire. If you just want a captain for the day, we'll be more than happy to go with you on your boat, teach you how to use all your electronics you spent all that money on, show you where to go so you don't have to keep following the Tribute around. I'm going to show you how to catch fish on your boat without following a sport boat. I know you didn't buy your boat to follow the Tribute. You bought your boat to go fishing. So that's what I'm trying to teach everybody. Quit following sport boats. Quit fishing for boats and start fishing for fish.
There it is, Dave. You hit it on the head, and we appreciate the awesome report. Always good hearing from you, and hope the Cabo life's treating you well, Dave.
Yeah, it's pretty tough down here. I'm having some coffee on the back deck. It's gnarly. All right, you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
Okay, awesome, Dave. Appreciate that. And the report today is sponsored by the Fish Pros of Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Not only do they offer the best processing for your fish when your trip returns to the San Diego landings, now the Fish Pros Market, you can purchase fresh fish, smoked, jerky, and their famous tuna burgers at their convenient Liberty Station location. Fish Pros have also become famous for their line of smoked spices, rubs, and salts, as well as smoked cheese. Pick some up at their Liberty Station location or order some online at fishmansprocessing.com. Definitely an awesome place and a little market they have going, and just a cool place to at least drop in and check it out. And let's jump into the lines, Mike. They've been absolutely packed. Let's talk to, we're going to talk to Dana calling from La Jolla. We appreciate you being patient waiting this morning, Dana. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for taking my call. You guys are doing a great job this morning. I hope you don't mind if I give a fishing report from another boat, an overnight boat. I went out on the Grande yesterday, and the fishing was fun, but the catching wasn't real good. It was mostly skipjack, but the boat and the crew were outstanding. I've been on most of the day or three-quarter day or overnight or day-and-a-half boats, but the skippers and the crew, I don't remember everybody's name. I think it was Matt, Tyler, Mackenzie, Travis, maybe Art. But anyway, they maintained such a positive and professional attitude. I was so impressed. Even though, like I said, the fishing wasn't good, we were all hoping to limit on yellowfin tuna, and think there was only a couple caught on the boat. It was mostly skipjack, lots of skipjack, and I think one yellowtail. But the bunks are good. The layout is good. I like the system that they use. We trolled all day long, and we got hits. And every time there was a hit, the crew member out by the bait would hit an air horn. So the captain knew to slow down. Everybody on deck knew, and everybody down in the bunks knew to come on out and grab some bait. And I had a couple of handoffs from crew members, and I had a really good time. And you don't always have a great time when you don't catch a lot of fish.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. At least you had a good time and
great time.
Yeah, put some fish on the boat. That's what it's all about, and getting out and enjoying the sport that we have right here in our backyard, Dana.
Yeah. James runs a good business. I'm sure the crew's top notch. Whoever was running the boat, I'm sure was doing a great job. And crazy, imagine that, another big Ditmar, same hole, just a slightly bigger one, but they are very comfortable boats. They ride great, big roomy boats. So I'm glad you had a good trip, and you can't knock skipjack. I know.
We've talked about it on the show,
Mike.
They've
come such a long way with the way that we take care of our fish now. I don't know how many days this year that I've eaten skipjack sandwiches or skipjack pokey, just grilled skipjack, but it's the day of a skipjack sitting in a gunny sack and tasting like a gunny sack.
Is long gone.
The fish, we bleed everything. Every single fish that comes on the boat gets bled, goes down in our RSW system, comes out in some cases looking better than they went in, and really they're awesome. There's not. If you buy canned tuna, chances are you're eating skipjack unless it says, solid white albacore or something on it. But I've had to do it several times this year where we had our cook make some, and usually in most cases people don't actually believe that it's skipjack. I said, look, you watch this fillet, you watch it go in the galley, now you're eating it. Well, no, it can't taste this good. Well, it can.
It does, and that's what we've talked about on the show. We've had callers call in and say, like, thank you for letting us know, because it is actually good. And there's a little more dark meat. And honestly, Mike and Dana, I mean, if you have the chance at a yellowtail, a wahoo, or yellowfin tuna or bluefin, we know what we're going to choose, right? But if skipjack's what you got,
it's a hard one to knock. The new Seaforth had our landing, and this is something I didn't even know existed, has they do a trip each year for some of the regulars, the guys that fish out of the landing a lot. And I was talking to one of this guy, Jasper Tibbetts, a guy that fishes with me quite often. I saw him down there. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I just got in off the new Seaforth. We did our annual appreciation trip. I said, wow, that's awesome that we did that. I didn't know we did that. Great, another perk out of fishing out of Seaforth a lot. And I said, what'd you catch? And he goes, well, we went and caught rockfish in the morning. We went and caught skipjack in the afternoon. And they did. They knocked the crud out of them. But I said, what kind of what an awesome experience to be able to go out and fish locally and catch rockfish and then go fish skipjack. And I said, what'd you do with your fish? He goes, oh, these things are great.
Yeah.
There you go.
There it is. No, that's good stuff for sure. And a little more blood meat than the normal tuna. You get a little more.
Just shave the bloodline out.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Whether it's grilled. I mean, as far as a pokey fish, it is
top notch.
Like number one pokey fish.
We've talked about it here, too. If you're going to Hawaii and you're enjoying the best poke that you're ever going to eat.
If you tell them that you're throwing skipjack back, they'd slap you.
Well, they're making it with skipjack, exactly. With that being said, Terrafin sea surface temperature charts focus your offshore fishing in the most productive areas by using Terrafin. And now with Terrafin Mobile, you can take it with you on your iPad, iPhone, or Android device. Just download the latest charts before you leave. With all the information is right there for you. Check Terrafin.com for more information. And Mike, the lines are packed. We're going to have to take a break. Let's Talk Hookup. Mighty 1090, having a good time in studio. We'll see you back in a few.
There is an undisclosed paradise waiting for you in your own backyard. It's the La Mission Hotel in beautiful Loreto, Baja California. Experience one of the few towns that has truly kept the spirit of old Baja, combined with the luxury of a 5-star hotel. Old Mission traditions, authentic lifestyle, and a wealth of Mexican culture still lives at the La Mission Hotel. Situated on the water and just steps from the harbor, take advantage of the fantastic fishing and natural beauty of the Sea of Cortez and the islands of Loreto. Loretto. Loretto has long been known as the Dorado capital of the world, but huge tuna, wahoo, marlin, yellowtail, and pargo are abundant too. La Mission Hotel can set up affordable fishing trips, dive packages, and family fun adventures to enjoy the rich natural abundance of Loretto. La Mission also has a fantastic spa, fine dining at Los Olivos restaurant, and the famous pizza grill will amaze and stimulate your palate. Relax, fish, and enjoy the beauty and adventure of Loretto at the La Mission Hotel. Fishing and other very affordable packages are available. Once you go, you're hooked. Check LaMissionLoretto.com for details. La Mission, the beauty and fun of Loretto is waiting for you.
For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.
I can't wait to spend some quality time with my son fishing this year, teaching him about casting, how to choose bait, set the hook, and how to be safe on the water by always wearing a life jacket. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
This is Captain Mark Rayer for Genren Sport Fishing. Located on the Sea of Cortez, we will show you a fishing experience that will exceed your expectations. Genren boats are outfitted with all accurate reels from the smallest Valiant 300 to the beefy ATDs. Simrad electronics, Fraser gyro binoculars, and cruise with a passion to fish is just part of what makes us number one. Also, Cabo Yachts Vaquera has a Seakeeper for your comfort. For 2 live webcams and up-to-date fish report, accommodation packages, check out TeamGenren.com. We pick up at Rancho Leonero and all East Cape locations. So let's go fishing.
Fisherman's Landing is the top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hardworking crew is always looking for ways to improve your fishing experience. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. We are proud to say Fisherman's Landing is now a full-service sport fishing operation, offering half-day trips on the Dolphin, and now, for the first time in the long history of Fisherman's Landing, we have 3/4-day open party trips on the Liberty. We built the Liberty specifically to offer a better experience. Run by veteran captain Taro Takeuchi, the 85-foot Liberty is the first open party 3/4-day boat to offer bunks for your comfort. She also has huge bait capacity and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big galley and 2 interior heads with showers. Our open party trips from half-day, 3/4-day, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. Cedros Island is considered the yellowtail and calico bass fishing capital in the world, and nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. We are committed to providing first-class service to our guests as well as an unforgettable fishing experience. We have made a good thing even better. We now have a direct flight departing to the CBX in San Diego. Leave home in the morning and fish in the afternoon. We have a beautiful waterfront lodge with first-class accommodations and meals. What are you waiting for? Call me at 619-772-7570 or check out CedrosSportFishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
XEPRS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader.
The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Mighty 1090 Studios. Having a great time today with Mike Pritchard off the Tribute, and lines have been packed. We're just going to jump right into it, Mike. Patient callers. Let's talk to Dan. Dan's calling from Encinitas. Welcome to the show this morning, Dan.
Hey, morning, guys. Great job today. Got a question for Mike on, so I know Seaforth, I've, been there, done that. They've got the best, probably, rental tackle around. So, I don't have quite the hardcore gear for the big flat fall morning bluefin, but I do have a, Penn 42 speed with 80 attached to 80. Would that do it for the surf it, like a fly line outfit?
As a fly line outfit, having the Penn 2 speed with 80-pound.
That's probably going to be pretty ideal. Like as far The thing with any of the smaller 2-speeds is whether you can actually get a bait away from the boat or not. The day and age of trying to use a 30 wide to fly line a sardine with straight 80 pound, thankfully, is done and gone. Somehow it worked back then, but it is that would be ideal. Just make sure that everything's in good working order. You have new drag washers. Don't treat your tackle like we do and leave it sitting in the corner of the boat for months at a time without being taken care of. But it should, as long as it's in good working condition, that should be pretty ideal.
And could I have the leader, like the fluorocarbon and whatever crimps and hooks, for a small fee put on the boat?
We do carry one of our sponsors is Soft Steel Ultra, and we actually provide free top shots. And we sell our fluorocarbon for basically what our cost is. I think our 5-yard spools are $5, which is pretty hard to beat. You want to make sure if you get down there, ideally you want to go up to the tackle shop and have them get you set up just to make sure. I mean, we are a boat. We're out. Sometimes we don't have exactly what you need in between trips. We usually have a pretty well stockpiled tackle arsenal, anything from 20 pound on up to 150. But if you go into Seaforth Landing, the guys at the tackle shop are great, and that would be a good way to get set up. And then maybe before the trip, just come down. If you see one of our crew members or something, just ask them to make sure that, we do have whatever gear you need on board before we leave.
And that's killer. I mean, you guys have an awesome tackle shop there, and
it's phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Dustin keeps it running nice, and they keep it stocked really great, and a great crew in there working. And Dan, just jump in there, and they're going to help you out. And let's jump back into the lines. We're going to talk to Mark. Mark's calling from Santee. We appreciate your patience this morning, Mark. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Corey and Mike?
Good
morning.
Hey, I've got a question for Mike. I had a bunch of questions, but they were all answered. But when you go out, do you go out to a specific place?
Well, sometimes.
You have a certain place, like, you would go to, and then go from there.
One thing that with these fish, they've moved. You'll find them at certain given high spots like the 43, the 60-mile bank, Cortez or Tanner, which is where they're at now, but they're also on the backside of the bank. These things move around, whether it's water temp, whatever bait they're feeding on. We do have, between all the boats that we work with, usually somebody's keeping an eye on whether it's yellowfin, bluefin. But we also have, through SAC, we also have an airplane that works with us. So if we get to a point where we can't find the fish, the Sport Fishing Association of California actually has a plane that we can utilize that'll go up and look for them for us.
And that's killer. And another thing, too, Mark, you could use that I know that we're using here is Terrafin sea surface temperatures. And just putting yourself in the right area of the ocean, and sea surface temps are going to definitely give you a huge leg up on everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Now, when Terrafin first came out, I can't remember the owner's name. I don't remember.
I forget right offhand. But super creative.
I was talking to him. I said, the app and everything else, I said, the amount of fuel you're going to save by cutting, if nothing else, knowing where not to go is huge. So, yes, a lot of, I'd say 90% of the fishing that we do is water temp related. So whether it's a given high spot where the fish are at, a certain area of warm water, it's not a given destination any one day, but it's something that whether it's us or another boat or our plane is keeping track of.
Yeah, and go check out Terrafin.com and you can check it out yourself and just see, they have subscription based. If you have your own private boat, you're a fool not to have it. Let's jump back into it. They all want this day-and-a-half trip, Mike, and leaving tomorrow night. They could use this on tomorrow night's day-and-a-half trip. This morning just came back with a handful of fish over 200 pounds. My gosh, man.
Yep, all the way up to 270.
That's crazy. Let's jump into it. We're going to talk to Jim. Jim's calling from National City. Welcome. Let's talk hookup, Jim.
Morning, guys. Can you hear me okay?
We got you, Roger.
Okay. I fished on the skipper's boat, the Tribute, many times. But the question I have is, I bought some gear at the show yesterday, specifically a rod to go with my 50 Agate 2-speed, which I have 200-pound Spectra. And I bought a cousin's rod yesterday that's geared up. It's a Triple X. And where should I go from there, Mike, as far as I got that 200-pound specter? Do I want to put 50 yards of 130-pound mono and then my flatfall on top of that?
If you're going to be fishing, yeah, you do want, at least in my opinion, either some mono or a long fluorocarbon leader. I know some guys will fish almost straight spectra to a 4 or 5 foot fluorocarbon leader. The only problem with that is there's no stretch, there's no give. So I'd say, yeah, if anywhere from 30 to 100 feet of either fluoro or mono, and then from there you could either do a small fluorocarbon leader with your flat fall, which, like we talked about earlier, you want to go heavy. You want to make sure that like 150 pound for a leader would be a bare minimum. You want it to have the ability, if that thing starts chewing on the line a little bit, to have that going for you.
Yeah.
And the mono, the 50 to 90 feet of mono, should that be 130?
In this case, yes. I would say 130. The only problem is if you start fishing too heavy of line, well, like a longer leader, the flat fall will start sinking a little bit odd. But 50 feet would be ideal, and I'd say 130 pound, and then a heavier leader as far as the leader going to your flat fall.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Let's jump into it. Let's take some quick calls here, Mike, and talk to Reggie. Reggie's calling from Santa Rosa. Welcome to the show. Are you listening to us on the app, or are you getting Mighty 1090 boomed up that far?
Actually, I'm in Santa Rosa Valley, which is a little bit closer. I'm in Ventura County, right by Camarillo.
Okay.
But good morning, guys. I appreciate
the area.
You taking the phone call.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
I'm going to be going on a day and a half on Friday, and not a big tuna guy. I fish a lot of yellowtail, and I have a couple of Calico 12s. I was wondering, are those too small for these fish?
What do you have on them?
I'm going to put whatever you tell me to put on them if it works. So I just want to know if those are just too small.
Let's see, Calico 12 as long as you can hold at least 400 yards of 100-pound on them, that'd be ideal. I can't tell you exactly what the line capacity is on them. They are great little reels, but it should be ideal as long as you can get 400 yards of 100 or 130 pound on it. And even in some cases that you find these big fish dumping that.
That's crazy.
Oh wow!
Yeah. That's
yeah, looking forward to getting out there. I mean, it's kind of hard to pass up this opportunity that, when they're right in your backyard. I mean, this is kind of like once in a lifetime type of deal, so I might as well give it a shot.
It is, and it's something that's gone on here for, I remember being in here, I think 3 or 4 years ago talking about this and saying that, this is unheard of. These fish keep getting bigger, and they do keep getting bigger. I mean, the amount of 300-pound bluefin caught this year is pretty amazing. And it's just, if you would have told somebody 10 years ago that this would have been a chance, that they would have.
Who would have believed you?
Now,
I wouldn't have.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's as crazy as our wahoo fishing a few years ago.
And Reggie, don't forget, we were talking about earlier, these lighter outfits, some of that stuff will work, but if you feel like you want to take a larger outfit and you don't want to spend that kind of money and you want to check out some of the awesome Shimano gear or whatever they have, the rental gear at the landing is going to be of a huge assistance and service to you for a very minimal charge, Reggie.
Okay, I'll take that advice. I appreciate you guys taking the call, and have a great remainder of your weekend.
Yes,
good luck on Friday night.
You too, Reggie, and we appreciate you joining the show this morning. It's awesome. Let's jump into it. Let's take another one. We're going to talk to John. John is calling from Upland. We welcome you to Let's Talk Hookup this morning, John.
Yeah, good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing good, John.
Yeah, well, the guy just called before me just answered my question. That I had also bought a Calico 12 yesterday at the tackle day. So
what, John? What
the other question I did?
John, I was going to ask you, wasn't that an awesome show yesterday? All the seminars and all the deals, and we had a lot of people. I'm telling you, come from the entire Southern California area and a little bit further too to come down and join and killer deal, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, I went down there for the specific reason because I had actually won the $50 gift card 2 weeks before to the tackle day, so I spent that and used that towards my Calica, and then I put the Max Quattro 80-pound Spectra on it. So that's get ready for next year, unless I win this trip on the this coming trip.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you win, all these callers today have a chance of winning a day-and-a-half trip on the Tribute. And John, if you win, I mean, that's something you can join them tomorrow. And I mean, their trip came in this morning with a handful over 200 pounds. I mean, that's something you could jump on the boat, flat, calm weather, greasy ocean, and join them tonight or tomorrow night. Excuse me.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, we were talking about that. The Telica 12 is a good reel, but you definitely want to either rent some gear or pick up something just a little bit heavier if you're going on one of these trips. I mean, you want to be geared up properly.
Okay, that's not a problem.
All right, John, we appreciate you joining the show today and coming down to Tackle Day yesterday. And let's jump into another question here. Randy's calling from Costa Mesa. Welcome to the show this morning, Randy.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's been a great show, very informative. My question this morning is terminal tackle. So, we've talked about, fishing 100-pound, 130. What size hooks are appropriate for this type of fishing?
If you're fly lining, I've become a pretty big fan of the Mustad Circle hook here this year. There's a lot of really good hooks, and the difference in hook sizes between some of the Japanese hooks and the American-made hooks don't really coincide with each other. But on this bigger stuff, you want to look at if you can, you're looking at like a 6-odd circle hook, 130-pound. Your connections. Make sure you bring fluoro, but on these trips, you want to make sure you bring anything. Really anything from like a number 2 hook on up to like a 7-odd. As far as kite gear, stuff like that, the boat's going to have it. But if you're fly lining one of those big baits and you can get a 6-odd or 7-odd circle hook in one of the baits and get bit, that's going to be ideal. And you definitely want to have circle hooks and fluoro with you.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no problem, Randy. We appreciate you joining the show this morning. And we come back on Let's Talk Hookup. We're going to have more from Mike, more from the Tribute, more from C4 Sport Fishing on the Mighty 1090. We're going to find out who's won this awesome day-and-a-half trip, Mike, and we'll be right back. Let's Talk Hookup.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
The main emphasis on the ranch, we're going to keep it old style. We're not going to change anything. We're just going to improve what we have. The kitchen is brand new kitchen this year with all new kitchen equipment, new stoves, ovens. We put a new freezer in. We've put in all brand new split air conditioners with thermostats to make sure every room is cold. We've also worked on the boat fleet with a couple large lures, a 31 and a 34. We've got the largest Super Ponga fleet on the East Cape, all with brand new Yamaha motors. Brand new beds. We've got all Serta beds, the best beds in Baja, I kid you not. We're working all the time at the ranch. We're not changing it, just making it a lot better. That's why we get the high TripAdvisor reviews. It's my responsibility. I got to take care of you. I'll personally guarantee your best fishing experience and vacation at Rancho Leonero. RanchoLeonero.com. Our new reservation phone number is 800-646-2252, 646-BAJA.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com and find a dealer near you.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now 19 stores and more to come throughout Southern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Yamaha's Why Wait for Spring Fall Sales Event is back. For a limited time, purchase an eligible new 2.5 to 115 horsepower 4-stroke and get 6 years of warranty protection plus up to $500 in dealer credit. New 150 to 300 horsepower 4-strokes come with 6 full years of warranty protection. Visit your local Yamaha Outboards dealer today. Yamaha. Reliability starts here. Offer ends November 19th, 2018. Subject to change at any time. Other restrictions and conditions apply. 36-month limited warranty and 36-month Yamaha extended service contract. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 36-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. This promotion cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090, and had a fun time with you today, Mike, and just chatting away and in the breaks and talking about some crazy stuff happening on the boat, some of which was posted on your Facebook page from this morning. We posted it during the show, and that trip that just came in.
Well, and then you have the first-hand report from one of the anglers getting off one of the other boats, watching the fish come in. It's a real thing. It's real life, and it's happening daily.
Yeah, exactly. And if we want to jump on one of these day-and-a-half trips, catching some of these cow bluefin, I mean, my gosh. I mean, you're leaving tomorrow night.
We're leaving tomorrow night. Day-and-a-half trip. If we get a few more people, we're going to make it a go. I'd imagine the trip's going. I mean, especially after the fish that came in this morning, we're supposed to have phenomenal weather. There's going to be a little bit of a groundswell, but looking through the weather for the next couple of days out there, it looked like there was no more than 7 or 8 knots of breeze, which it's that time of year, but for anything outside the Cortez, get a chance to go out and fish with a light load. Very, very nice weather conditions, and the boat came in this morning with 11 big bluefin. Big fish was 270 pounds. 5 of them were over 2. Last trip we had 6 over 2. I think we had 7 yellowfin to go with it. So, I mean, to get out and maybe
have a chance at that. I mean,
well, and you got to figure this is something that you need to really take into consideration with these fish counts. If you see 11 bluefin come in, there's probably 11, if not more, lost. I mean, there's the possibility of hooking one of these fish is very, very real. Landing them is a different story. It's an epic battle. Like the one angler came in that was called in from our charter last week. The chance of landing one of these things on your own without help, I mean, it's done, but it's a humbling experience. You get your butt absolutely kicked by a fish is a pretty neat experience.
Yeah, it's cool, and like that caller said, the crew takes a hand in every fish landed. I mean, the fact that fish came to gaff was because of the crew.
Our crew works their butts off. We've had a pretty set crew here for the last few years, and they do a very, very good job. And like I said, Captain Shane and has done absolutely phenomenal. His trip this morning got in, and like I said, he's very. It's funny. He's very humble about it. He goes, "Well, I'll send you the pictures." I said, "We're going to get his butt in here one of these days and get him on the radio."
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I definitely need to get him in studio. It'd be tough to have both of you in here at the same time. Maybe winter time, when the boat's down a little bit.
I told him I'd trade. I said, you go do the show on Sunday, I'll go do the trip. Cause I want to see the 200-pound bluefin as well.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be cool. So our lucky winner today, we had the lines were packed the entire show. We thank all the listeners. It's really the listeners that make this show. And Randy from Costa Mesa, congratulations. You've won this day-and-a-half trip on the Tribute. You can use this tomorrow night. Now, if you weren't as lucky as Randy, Mike, and you want to join the boat tomorrow, how do they do this?
You can call Seaforth Landing directly. The guys there are awesome, which we talked about earlier. 619-224-3383. You can also book through seaforthlanding.com. Take a look at our fish on our Facebook page, Tribute Sport Fishing. And we're gonna keep this going as long as possible. I'm sure there's boats out there this morning that are already engaged and pulling on these big bluefin.
And it's they go through little cycles where they bite and cycles where they don't bite. A few days on, few days off, and the fact they bit yesterday, man, this is something you got to get on.
Yeah, there has been days where it slows down a little bit, and like I said, yesterday morning started off slow, and Shane put it together and had an epic trip with big fish.
Oh, man, that's cool, and it might even be a trip I want to jump on tomorrow night, and pretty cool deal. And it's been awesome having you in studio, Mike, and you've made today by myself very easy and very smooth, and I definitely appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
And I'll tell you one other person in here that makes it very easy is Adam on the other side of the glass. Adam producing the show. Awesome guy. He does a killer for the Let's Talk Hookup and the Mighty 1090. Next week, we're going to have Saturday Bill Varney, surf fishing expert, and Sunday Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. 2 awesome shows next week. We look forward to seeing you in studio, joining us. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, it's something you can drive on the road and listen to us at off times during the week. And we encourage you to do so. We'll see you next week. Mighty 1090 and Let's Talk Hookup.